Hello good and wonderful people, you are welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time of being here, hello, you are welcome to my channel. My name is Tessie. So the presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party in the last general election, Atiku Abubakar, sent a very powerful message to President Muhammadu Buhari. So I will read the news for you guys the way I'm seeing it here, but before I continue, kindly hit on the red subscribe button down below to subscribe, also on the notification button. In that way, anytime we upload a new video, that will notify you. And I pray that the same way you guys are supporting me here in this channel, God will definitely send people that will support you in whatever you are doing in life, in Jesus' name. Amen. So this news here read: the presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party, PDP, in the 2019 general election, Atiku Abubakar, has warned against the proposed $29.9 billion loan sought by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Atiku, in a statement which he personally authored on Tuesday titled "Endless Borrowing Will Lead to Endless Sorrowing," said that no matter the amount of funds at the disposal of Buhari's administration, their greatest challenge is how to judiciously utilize it. He stated that the decision by the government to borrow more is worrying because the past loan obtained by the administration have amounted to nothing as the country has emerged as the world's poverty capital. John Quincy Adams once said, "There are two ways to conquer and enslave a nation. One is by sword, the other is by debt." He may be very well referring to Nigeria of the last 3 years. Barely 2 weeks ago, I warned during my Founders Day lecture at the American University of Nigeria, Yola, that Nigeria has taken almost as much foreign debt in the last 3 years as she has taken in the 30 years before 2015 combined. Now that is very true and frightening. Frightening not just because of the amount, but because after such unprecedented borrowing, we have emerged as the world headquarters for extreme poverty and the global capital for out-of-school children. It now begs for the question, what are the funds used for? I have said it time and again, the business of the government is too serious to be left in the hands of the politicians. We must all ask questions, because if they throw away the future, it is not going to be their future they are throwing away. It will be all our futures. The fact that Nigeria currently budgets more money for debt saving, 2.7 trillion, than we do on capital expenditure, 2.4 trillion, is already an indicator that we have borrowed more money than we can afford to borrow. And the thing is that debt service is not debt repayment. Debt service just means that you are paying the barest minimum allowable by our creditors. And while spending 50% of our current revenue on debt saving, this administration wants to take further loan of $29.6 billion. To say that this is irresponsible itself is an understatement. As a businessman, one of the very first things I learned is that you do not take loan except you are expanding your business. Even as an individual, when your income cannot fund your lifestyle, you are challenged to grow your income, not your borrowing. Even if this administration borrow 1 trillion, it will never be enough, because their challenge is one of the capacity. They are not using the funds they are having wisely. They do not need debt, they need more intellectual capacity. The money President Muhammadu Buhari's administration wants to borrow to fund its medium-term expenditure framework could be acquired without sinking the nation into further debt. All it required is visionary leadership and business acumen. In my economic blueprint, I said that rather than running into regular losses, which it has constantly been doing, the best thing to do with the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation is to reform it. Of course, the administration paid propagandists went into overdrive, accusing me of planning to sell the NNPC to my friend. But just last week, Saudi Arabia's Aramco, the most profitable company in the world, took that same route and almost broke the global stock market with the most successful initial IPOs in the world history, bar none. Ironically, Saudi Aramco raised $29.4 billion via these IPOs, just the amount this administration wants to borrow. By reforming the NNPC, Nigeria can raise the $29.6 billion the Buhari regime want to borrow, and we will raise the money without going into debt. If we have taken that route, not only would have we attracted foreign direct investment into Nigeria, but even better the investment, we would have attracted confidence in our economy because it would have shown that we have a thinking leadership. Take the example of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Company. This is a joint venture between the Nigerian government and the private sector. Yet, the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Company declare very awesome profit in billions of dollars every year, and the NNPC declare losses. This is a proof that the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Company models works, but the NNPC models does not work. The World Prominent Rating Agency has just downgraded Nigeria. Ghana, a nation with only 15% of our population, now attracts more foreign direct investment than Nigeria. And Rwanda, a country with less than 50% of our mineral endowment, has an economy that is growing at twice the rate of our economy. The problem is not revenue. The challenge is not Nigerians. The issue is leadership. Why there is scant information in the medium-term expenditure framework for what the loan should be useful, I could not help but to read a communication from the presidency to the effect that one of such projects would be the digitalization of the Nigerian Television Authority and other similar projects. Spending revenue on such project would be foolish, but spending loan in such a manner is nothing short of foolhardy. The Nigerian government does not have a good record of running businesses, and a public television network is unlikely to yield the type of income that would justify taking out loan to digitalize it. Sorry guys, sorry I'm laughing, but it's funny. Why would Nigerian government take a loan to digitalize Nigerian Television Authority? It's funny. There is trouble. I'm not the one who wrote this one. Now you can visit Atiku Abubakar's page. You will see it there. So, does this even make sense at all? And moving on, it said, beside, is that a priority when we have 12 million children out of school? Like I said, capacity, not revenue, is the problem. And in proof of this, I offer the example of how this administration took delivery of $322 million of Abacha loot in 2018 and claimed it shared it out to the poor children, only to obtain $328 million loan from China, allegedly for ICT development. The very next month, how do you share out $322 million and then borrow $328 million? Who does that? The risk of repeating myself, it is clear that not the amount of money, whether from revenue or from borrowing, will be enough for an administration that lack capacity. So, what must Nigeria do now? Rather than propagate borrowing, what Nigerians need to do is restore investor confidence in our economy. Key to that is respecting the independence of key institutions such as the judiciary and the Central Bank of Nigeria. Both of these institutions are now the captives of Buhari and his cabal, and although they are allowed to admit it, they cannot take one step without watching their backs. Why are foreign investors leaving Nigeria for Ghana? The answer is that Ghana, unlike Nigeria, has learned to divorce the key institution from politics. The Ghanaian Central Bank enjoy a degree of independence that our CBN can only dream of under the prevailing atmosphere. You will not hear Ghana leadership giving flippant interviews overseas about their plan for the cedis as Buhari has done in Europe about Naira. It rings alarm bells because it is not the job of the executive to interfere in the role of the revived bank. Neither will you find any Ghana leaders blatantly intimidating the judiciary by obviously setting up judges and invading courtroom. Why would any investor come to Nigeria under such prevailing circumstance? Their thought would be that If we have any industrial dispute, our court under this administration cannot be counted on to deliver impartial justice. I was part of a team that paid off Nigeria's entire foreign debt. I therefore cannot sit and watch an administration without vision squander our children's future by taking and wasting loans that they do not even have the capacity to utilize properly. Thank God for the leaked memos that have exposed the lies that this regime have told Nigerians about the unprecedented revenue in the Federal Island Revenue Service and the National Petroleum Corporation. Now, we know that Nigeria is not poor because she is not making enough money. The truth is that Nigeria is poor because she is not making the right leadership decision. Thomas Jefferson said, to preserve our independence, we must not let our rulers load us with perpetual debt. Dear citizens of our beloved nation, this is a call to head. President Olusegun Obasanjo and I paid off this nation's debt, and I will not stand idly and watch while Nigeria is plunged into second slavery by those who only know how to reap where they did not sown. Our youth must have something better to inherit from us than unsustainable debt fueled by insatiable greed. That is why I call on the Senate of the National Assembly to show loyalty to Nigeria and reconsider its decision with regard to approving Buhari's $29.6 billion loan requested. We need to pay heed to Benjamin Franklin's advice that he that goes a borrowing goes a sorrowing. I call on Nigerian youth to identify the senator representing their senatorial zones and write to them, urging them to vote against this request. Do this because it is you and your children that will pay back this loan that will be squandered by these rebellious cabals who do not have the word enough in their vocabulary. And this is basically it. And I know that hearing this from Atiku, some people will say, they were there before. What did they do for us? Okay. Now, I'm sorry. I'm not supporting Atiku. You guys know that even when he was contesting for the presidency, I never supported him because I know they were there before and they did not do us much good. So, all I wanted them was someone who is young and vibrant, who could understand the language of this generation right now. So, let us not look at it in the political way. Let us just look at the reality this man is trying to bring out here. Okay, these people have borrowed and borrowed and borrowed and borrowed, but we are not seeing any result. So why should we allow them to continue borrowing when we've not seen any result of the ones they borrowed before? So we shouldn't fold our hands and look them trade with the future of our unborn children. And this is basically it for you guys. This video have taken longer than necessary. I know some people will not even watch to this point, but for you that stay to this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to share your own opinion with me on the comment section, and please share this video to create more awareness, and I will definitely see you guys in my next video. Remain blessed until I come your way next time. Bye bye.